Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It's Uncle Makara, no relations. Today I'm talking about how you as a beginner can make offerings to the divine. So first of all, this is my perspective and what I've learned. I'm at a meditation retreat last day, getting the empowerment today. So I'm at my father's meditation retreat and I just spoke to him about offerings. So I wanted to speak to you guys today about how to start off with offerings. A very easy thing to start out for beginners is 7 small bowls of water with a flower of some sort. I've noticed that in the front of the offerings that are there for this particular path working of Vajrayana Buddhism. And I'll also give you my own mystical path working in terms of Primal Sutra, what you can do. So the primary rule here is you want to engage the 5 senses. Okay, what are you seeing? What are you hearing? Is there sounds? Is there like a bell? Something that engages the taste, okay? So think about it like that, right? You want the metaphysical world of the deity, whether they are at the Pure Lands or wherever they are, to merge with this one, right? So if we understand the Hermetic principle of all is mind, the shrine is actually mental, right? The offering is actually mental. So there's 2 ways to go about this. Number 1, go with what your gut instinct is telling you. A specific deity might want to taste human foods, you know, like candies, chocolates, chips, stuff like this. They don't necessarily have access to earthly like pleasures, right? Not that they need it either, right? I think it matters how you're interpreting it. So if it feels right to give a deity candy, by all means do it. Or it could be that it reminds them of home, wherever their humble abode is at. If it's Mount Olympus, you know, think about it. Like, what can you do in your shrine, in your space, in your altar, or even in your mind that can create that bridge? So you got to use your creativity. I look at offering in all ways. So even offering somebody a compliment or offering somebody advice can be done in a way where it gets them closer to their spiritual path, right? You're not forcing others onto the spiritual path, and there's certain things that you keep non-negotiable. It's almost like an entrepreneur never forgetting their business's mission statement, you know? You have that goal, you have that overarching theme of your spiritual practice. The reason why people do prayers, I consider them as a primer to get you into that state of consciousness, and the certain words that have been chosen in a lot of sacred prayers or invocations are very, very powerful to chant. Specifically, mantras are also very, very powerful to chant, where a mantra almost merges and becomes the deity, in a sense. So each yadam that you have, each connection with a specific being that you have, you want to have regular commitment. So anything you can do, like let's say you already drink tea or coffee in the morning, if you just give a little bit of tea or coffee, before you give it to yourself, you give it to the deity, right? You give it to an image of some sort. This can be from any pantheon, right? I'm not saying that it has to be Buddhist. You can give it to Ganesha, you can give it to Agwe. It's really about your own individual path working. For me, I'm a freestyle shaman. I love to merge different path workings together, though that can get very confusing at times. I'm a person who loves to blend, okay? I'm a yogi, so I love to blend into things, or have myself blend with the deity, or blend with these different concepts, right? And so I'm looking for that blending. A very quick, you know, Jai Guru or Jai Guru Dev, and you can send it to your masters, mentors, gurus before you. It's always a good thing to say or do. Idea first by AZD, but I know my dad does this too. Before he drinks tea or before he does something, he says Jai Guru. It's just a profound respect towards the lineage, towards whatever path you're working with, right? So you have a root guru, and then you have all guides, deities, yadams around that specific root guru. So you can have one main one, and then different ones that kind of activate or add to its essence and power, almost like an amplification, right? Now in Primal Sutra, we have a saying, it's my pain is my offering to my gods. Now you might be wondering, why would a god or a deity want my paint? What are they going to do with that? It really depends on which deity you're giving it to. However, I would definitely say if you convert it into something that engages the five senses and makes you understand, it's like art. So if you take your pain and you make it into art, you can then give that as an offering, because art and beauty speaks to that realm, man. Humans are, particularly humans, because we're very artistic. Animals don't have that skill set, right? The lower realms and the hell beings and all of them, they don't really have access to that level of beauty, truth, art, right? When you can convert your own inner pain into artwork, it's a very good way to give it as an offering. I love to create art, music, drawings, different things, and make that my enchantment for the divine, and make that my metaphysical echo to the divine. Make sure, this is a very big note, make sure you clean up the food that you keep on your altar, okay? There's fruit flies, there's random insects, bugs that come up in the way. And it's not a good idea to keep lots of bugs around when you're doing rituals and so forth, because their energies and frequencies are also coming in, right? In 3 days, you take it off, or it's been 2 days, you take it off. You have a process of clearing and removing and making it easy for you. Just make it easy for you. When you feel compelled and called to do it, but also have a process where you have renditions, where you can automatize it, where you can make it automatic. Make sure you make the offering into a habit. Even do an offering for others on their behalf, because if it's a good gesture, if it's a kind gesture from your heart, you can include other people around you. So you're not only seeking refuge for yourself, you're also doing it for your tribe, doing it for your family perhaps, and bringing that goodwill up with you. You're raising the frequency up with others. I love to do rituals for the adepts of Primal Sutra, so if you're interested in getting lots of random blessings show up, you can just join the mystery school. You'll just be a part of it. You'll get access to all the rituals and the different things that are happening behind the scenes. You'll get those blessings, and it'll just be much more automatic. And we have a signal that we created for our specific path working. So we have a Primal Sutra family based of different deities, and they are connected to other path workings and other pantheons and so forth. So let's say I randomly go to Istanbul and one specific deity there decides to show up, and he knows one of my deities who is connected to the Primal Sutra family. Now, there's going to be a lot better rapport if there's already a foundation, if there's already a substrate that you've created and built for yourself. So, and also blessing your food and blessing the different things around you. I like to bless my food before I eat it, but also a very good idea is if you're giving a gift to somebody, you just say, with the deity's blessing, with your blessing, please bring joy to whoever uses this product or whoever uses this gift, okay? I think it's a very powerful understanding if you could do that. And I know others sometimes invade into your personal space in terms of offerings and things like this. They're gonna have their own hidden agendas, weird cultural conditioning, tell you you're a goofball, you're weird, what are you doing anyway? Why aren't you paying attention to me? Are you deserting me? Are you abandoning me for the spiritual world? Are you becoming a monk? You have all this stuff, right? But there's some things on your spiritual path, man, that are non-negotiables. You got to realize what those are. I'm not saying rituals are the only way to connect with the divine, but it's very useful to start off with an intention. Why are you doing this offering in the first place? What are you hoping to achieve? What do you want? Okay. Through an understanding, let's say you're giving a hibiscus flower to Aphrodite as an example, right? You have to understand you can use handmade items, you can use food items, you can use all sorts of things to amplify this ritual. Sweet smelling things, incense, perfumes, right? Just engage all the senses with this ritual. At the end of the ritual, you have to close it off somehow. So blow out the candles if you want. You could just clap your hands. You could state an intent, or I like to just say, so be it. I like to say all of the different cultural practices that they use. Basically, it's like Amen, Amin, Shalom, Om, Swaha, so be it. Okay, that's kind of what I say. You can use that if you want. That's kind of Primal Sutra tech, an omnist kind of formulation of this, which sends a powerful ripple effect across these different walks of life, right? I found this random stick just now, and it looks like the Caduceus of Hermes. That's wild, huh? How this stick is wrapped around this stick like this. Synchronicities. Okay, Hermes is probably here and is expressing through my... So Hermes is associated with my throat chakra. And specific deities, they're all associated with different chakra points and so forth. And again, this is what I've discovered through my own path. This is not like some go-to rule of all spiritual paths have to go like this. But I found this to be very beneficial, you know, to have a particular structure around this like this. So a lot of people, you know, they have disbelief. They see the faults in these rituals. They're very unclear, ungrounded, very confused about what to do when it comes down to this stuff. So these things stop you from spiritual practice. So you really have to have a faith, a fear. So thinking about it, like my deities, my spirit guides, they're at one. They're inseparable from my mind and heart. So when you think like this, you actually create a better ritual, better reservoir, because all you're doing is just taking the contents of your mind, taking the contents of your subconscious, and putting it out to a physical ritual. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video today. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it today. Upward spiral gang. May we never be the same again. Let's get it.